I never expected Thanksgiving to be the day everything unraveled. But sometimes the truth chooses the most crowded room and the loudest moment to finally show its face. The clinking of cutlery, the smell of roasted turkey, the soft hum of family chatter, it all felt normal until my mom turned to me with that glowing smile people use when they think they're being playful. Your sister's wedding was amazing. So, when's your turn? Everyone laughed. Except me. I just breathed in, steady and slow. Because for 30 seconds straight my brain flashed back to all the nights I stayed awake wondering why my own family had never shown up for the most important day of my life. And that's when the hook of my story really begins, not with anger, but with confusion that slowly hardened into something sharper. I set down my fork and said calmly, I already had mine. You got invitations. Silence. Complete. Heavy silence. It fell over the table like someone had hit a mute button. My dad cleared his throat, that uneasy sound he makes when he doesn't know which direction to look. We never got them, he said quietly. For a moment, I wondered if maybe there had been a mistake. Maybe the mail carrier lost everything. Maybe the universe had just decided to sabotage me for fun. But no, I had come prepared. I opened my phone, pulled up the delivery confirmations, and slid my screen across the table. There it was. Every envelope delivered, every envelope signed for, every signature belonging to the same person, my sister. She smiled at her plate like it was the funniest joke in the world and whispered, that can't be right. But she wouldn't look at me, and in that moment, I finally understood exactly who had made sure my wedding day was the quietest day of my life. The blood in my ears was pounding so loud I almost missed the way Mom whispered, Sweetheart, why would you sign for your siblings' invitations? My sister's fork froze midair. She shrugged, acting like it was barely worth answering. I don't remember doing that, but her face said otherwise. She was nervous, the kind of nervous that twists truth into knots. I leaned forward, not angry, just steady. You signed for all of them. Why? That's when she let out a soft laugh, the kind people use when they've already decided they're the hero of their own story. I didn't think you were ready, she said. And honestly, I didn't think it would last. I was trying to protect you from embarrassment. Embarrassment. That word was a spark on dry leaves. My wife, my actual living, breathing partner, sat beside me at that same table every Thanksgiving, smiling politely while my family treated her like a guest instead of family. And all along, the reason they never came to our wedding was because my sister had decided she knew better. But she didn't expect me to have proof. I pulled out the final document, the scanned signature from the post office log. Her full name, her handwriting, her choice. Protect me, I said, or protect the spotlight you didn't want to share. Her jaw tightened, but she didn't answer. The room shifted. Even Dad leaned back, processing everything like a man who had suddenly realized he'd been living in the wrong movie the whole time. Mom's eyes filled with the kind of disappointment that sinks an entire room. My sister pushed her chair back as if she could walk away from the truth she'd buried. But this time, I wasn't letting it go. Not after losing memories I'd never get back. Not after my wife spent years believing my family didn't care about her. I stood up, slow and deliberate. And for the first time in my life, the entire room waited for my words. My wedding wasn't just a date on a calendar, I said. It was the day I chose the person who stands by me through everything. And you stole that moment not just from me, but from all of us. My sister whispered, You're overreacting. But even she didn't sound convinced. Dad's voice cut through the tension. Apologize, he said. Not gently, not softly, like a command. For the first time in years, she looked small. I didn't think it would turn into this. It already did, I replied. You made a choice. Now I'm making mine. And that was the moment the revenge didn't come from shouting or anger. It came from clarity. Calm, sharp clarity. From now on, if you want to be part of my life or my wife's, you're in that place. You don't control it. The room held its breath. My sister swallowed, and for the first time, said the words that should have been spoken years ago. I'm sorry. It wasn't enough, but it was a start. And as I reached for my wife's hand, I knew exactly what to say for anyone watching this story unfold. If you're listening, I said, imagining the audience behind the screen, never let anyone, family or not, decide what moments you're allowed to have. Stand up for your life before someone else edits it for you. That was my call to action, my reminder, my line in the sand. And as Thanksgiving continued around us, quieter than before, I realized something powerful. Sometimes the best revenge isn't shouting or getting even. It's claiming the life someone tried to take from you and living it louder than ever.